Hi, welcome to the year 14-15 annual review from Rainbow Services. I'm Jackie Sully, I'm the Chief Exec of Rainbow Services, and this year we've decided to take a slightly different take on what we've done previously. This year we have facetiously titled this video, So What? We've moved from outcomes, outputs to impact. Impact has generated quite a lot of conversation through the voluntary sector because it's something that's really difficult to measure and to quantify. So we decided that we would get a bunch of our service users, our staff, people who benefit from our services together and talk about so what? During 14-15, the Community Builder project morphed into Who Will Care, and this targeted older people in the town who are experiencing loneliness and social isolation.
I love working for Rainbow. We do exactly what it says on the tin. We are about people. Supporting, enabling and developing is our mission, and that's what we do. It's about people working for the organisation as well as the people that we support out in the community. The impact that the social project has had on me as an individual as well as those that are benefiting from the project is just insurmountable. I love Safe and Social. I love the social clubs, a lot that I get to go to them every week. They carry on without me, which is great because that's what the project's about. But I do miss going. I don't want to work anywhere else.
Well, I've been doing it for nearly 2.5 years, myself and my wife. And my wife and I went round the neighbourhood putting leaflets in and knocking at doors to see if anyone else was interested, and gradually it built up. Why I do it is, and my wife really, is that we enjoy people getting out and so not sitting indoors all day. And they've got lots of history, lots of news, lots of stories to tell you, which is really interesting, really.
Well, I came here because it's company and it's afternoon out and we enjoy the town.
Rainbow Workshop has a contract with Essex Community Rehabilitation Company to offer unpaid work placements for clients who were there under a court order.
Before I started my community service at Rainbow, I had very little knowledge of work. I have now learnt many new skills and I feel I have the ability to make a range of useful things.
Since June, when I was finished my hours, just become volunteer here, with possibility to use your own time as you wish. It's first time in my life something with my hands, from wood.
Harlow Health Navigation projects with funding from Harlow Health Centres Trust targeted mainly at making navigation through the ultra-complex health systems easier for individuals and organisations.
I've been working here for, I suppose, nearly a year now.
Yes, I think you support our work, especially with vulnerable clients. Those that maybe slip through the system don't have other family members get them to appropriate services.
For me, it's also about that we work collaboratively.
Yes.
Around those vulnerable people, so it
Absolutely.
ensures more of a safety net, doesn't it?
Exactly.
Rainbow Young Bus goes into areas and estates of Harlow to deliver play, educational experiences for children and young people.
What do you want to look at next?
Rainbow Service is not the brokerage agency for Harlow in terms of volunteering. We do take it on as part of our role because volunteering, I think everyone recognises, is the lifeblood of our society.
I came here a year ago under quite difficult circumstances for me. They made me feel very welcome, they didn't judge at all, and they made me fit in. They found things for me to do that I was able to do, and sort of pushed me into doing other little things that I'd kind of not done for a while. So it made a really positive impact on me. I was really down when I first started here, but after a year I kind of was getting back to more my old self.
It feels like I'm contributing to something, that I'm helping out. I know it's only for 2 hours a week, but still. And it feels good to be contribute, to help. They have to put up with a lot sometimes, but they still draw and do what they do best, help people.
Volunteering here is good because it gives you a chance to give something back in a way. I mean, to try and help other people. I mean, I was in a bad situation when I first started here, but I'm in a better place now, so I think for other people it would be quite beneficial, especially if they're nervous or anxious themselves, to maybe start working in a place like Rainbow. With the encouragement, it could help them sort of develop more skills.
So when I was asked to be a trustee for Rainbow Services when I retired from local government, I was delighted to be able to say yes, because when I evaluate any organisation, I always want to know, so what? What does that organisation actually do for the community? And with Rainbow Services, I see the work that it does for the voluntary sector as a whole. I see small organisations getting support. I see a voice for the voluntary sector with big organisations like Essex County Council. I see local communities getting services introduced that they can then take up and run themselves. And I see people who are volunteers going on, learning skills, going on to use those skills in jobs that they do. So when I ask myself that question, so what? There's a really big answer with Rainbow Services, and that's just what's made me be very, very proud to be part of it.
Infrastructure services fits in very neatly with the Rainbow mission, which is to support, develop and enable. Except this time it's about supporting, developing and enabling organisations as opposed to people.
We're a very, very small charity with 100 odd volunteers and a very small part-time workforce. And there's no way in the time that I've got in my job to actually sit down and do all the reading that needs to be done. And that's where Rainbow Services come in. Their meetings are really valuable. They tell you all the legal updates that you need to know about. They tell you what's going on in Harlow. They tell you what's going on in the voluntary sector as a whole. And they also do try to achieve things that we couldn't achieve on our own, not only us as Canal Ability, but us as the voluntary sector within Harlow. Because it just draws everybody together, and by drawing everybody together we feel as one whole person, one whole organisation.
Place to Be has been renting an office in the Rainbow Centre since 2014, and it has made such a difference to us in many ways. We didn't have a local base from which to work. Now that we're based at the Rainbow Centre, we can have team meetings, hold interviews and have other management meetings without having to think about where we can book rooms. This has really improved our communications with each other, and it's great to be working alongside other voluntary groups. The staff and volunteers at the Rainbow Centre have been fantastic in their support and friendliness. I'd like to convey a big thank you to all.
The Health Resource Centre was developed in partnership with Harlow Health Centres Trust and continues to be a valued and well-used resource for meetings, conferences and networks in the Harlow area. Voluntary Sector Forum was set up locally to provide a coordinated and a cohesive voice for the voluntary sector in Harlow.
Well, U3A in Harlow has been going now for 7 years. It's over 800 membership. I go to the Voluntary Sector Forum and I meet people there that some of them are voluntary groups. You do have speakers, obviously, that have their speciality. That's my main idea, is helping our members to learn more about Harlow.
Well, I find that Rainbow provides just a really solid foundation for the voluntary sector in Harlow. So, like I attend the Voluntary Sector Forum meetings and I find them really useful just for many reasons really. A summary of the things that we should all be aware about. Things that you hear about that you think, oh, I'd want to be campaigning about that. I would, you know, Jackie will be campaigning and Rainbow will be doing that on behalf of you and advocating for the sector. So you think, oh, I'm glad they've almost got the back of the voluntary sector in the area. And I suppose that's the formal side, but the informal side is I know I could go to Rainbow. I personally have also found Jackie and the organisation to be a real strong support personally when I first came into the role. And I just think the wealth of knowledge held by the organisation about the local area and about the sector, I feel that any of us can tap into that at any time.
I've got a very lonely job, like loads of other people have in the voluntary sector, and because of Rainbow Services being there, being that support function, you can ring up any time, you can ask them anything. If they don't know the answer to it, they'll come back and tell you. Rainbow Services are just there, they help you, they support you, and in boating terms, they stop our boat sinking. I'm at the tiller, but they're the plug that keeps the water out. Thank you.